At the end of the demonstration of the Tournament of Power between the Universe 7 and Universe 9, the Warriors of Beerus have been made with victory. However, all the gods have been fixed in the Universe 7, especially in the warrior Son Goku, which had an incredible power that even competed with the god of destruction, Daishinkan. At that moment would explain the rules of the Tournament of Power, leaving all the gods surprised to know that if they lost, they would be eliminated along with their universes. Even Beerus would have a little grudge to Goku, however he was not able to say anything because he would not stay without his best warrior. Because of this damn monkey, we risk being eliminated. I swear that if we come out alive from the tournament that the great Zeno-sama will organize, I'll finish with all the Saiyans. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Beerus was together with all the other Z warriors to form the ideal team to win the victory of Universe 7. When the time established by Daishinkan-sama passed, all the warriors were ready. The Tournament of Power would continue normally until Goku activated the Ultra Instinct. That's right, this had left all the other gods surprised, which were not able to access such a state that miserable Goku had been able to reach the Ultra Instinct. I have to banish him if I can't allow him to become more powerful. The moment Goku even mastered the Ultra Instinct, all the other gods had no doubt. That's right, they had decided to end the life of Son Goku so that he wouldn't be a threat in the future causing problems. Mr. Goku's power is incredible, but I'm not convinced. His power brings back very bad memories for me. To the rebel Saiyan Yamoshi. Meanwhile, with Goku mastering all the Ultra Instinct, he increased his power to the maximum, being able to give a great battle to Jiren, and with the help of Frieza, they were able to defeat him and win the victory. The Android 17 had also asked to revive all the other universes, however, all the gods had taken it to offense. You wretches, do you think that we need you? I swear I'll make you pay for this with blood. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, Whis was very serious as he watched his god in deep thought, and this was not good for the Z Warriors. Mr. Beerus, do you really want to betray Son Goku? Thanks to him, we have all survived. But still, if it hasn't been for him, none of this would have happened. He brings misfortune every place he goes. Mr. Beerus, there is a call from the Destroyer God of Universe 11. What do you want, Vermouth? Do you want to thank that you came back to life? Beerus, I know you for millions of years. You and I are the first gods, and we're also the most powerful. I know you're not happy with that saying. Of course we can. Since no other god has been thought to have been eliminated, and at the request of one of your warriors, we've been revived. You know that this is humiliating. You're right, Vermouth. Well, there's nothing we can do, since the king of everything is the best friend of that miserable Saiyan. There is something that I have to tell you, Beerus, but nobody's supposed to know about it. If it's confidential matter, you better come to my planet, since it seems to be something very serious. Vermouth, along with his angel Daisy, would quickly head to the universe of 7 Beerus. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Broly had been a part of the Z Warriors. To defeat him, they were helping him to control every part of his power. You don't have to let anger take you over. Control all that anger. Let it flow so that your power continues to grow. It's very easy to say, but it's very complex to put into practice. Kakarot, since it's impossible for you and me to help Broly, for this it'll be better for Whis to train him, since he controls the key completely, and it'd be better to help for Broly. Vegeta, that's an excellent idea. It'll be better to go to Beerus' planet. Goku, with the help of his teleportation, would arrive at the planet of Beerus alongside Broly and Vegeta, but when he arrived, he was able to observe the god of Universe 7. Well, if you're Vermouth, how have you been all this time? Vermouth, annoyed, launched himself against Goku, who was able to dodge a blow with difficulty, and instantly he would access the Super Saiyan Blue. What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you attacking me for no reason? Because it's your damn fault our universe was destroyed, so I plan to finish you and every being of your miserable species. That won't be possible because Beerus is on our side, and he won't allow it. I'm sorry, Vegeta, but Vermouth's right. You're the worst disgrace that could happen to Universe 7, so it'll be better to finish you off. Vegeta at that moment would be surprised, since he had not thought that Beerus was in the same way to betray them. At that moment, Vegeta would access the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power, with which he would begin to exchange blows with Beerus, being completely in vain because his power was far below the power of Beerus. At the moment, Beerus, without trusting or anything, would leave Vegeta. Broly, realizing that all this happened because they wanted to help him, would begin to increase his power to the maximum, making the whole planet shudder. Beerus Meanwhile, Goku and Vermouth would continue exchanging blows, which Goku was losing every moment, since the power of the god Vermouth was incredible. Damn, the power of this god's incredible! I'm not able to do anything against him! At that moment, he was able to observe how Broly, with his legendary power, was able to face Beerus, and at that moment Goku would not be left behind. I'll activate the Kaoken again! At that moment, Goku would activate his Kaoken, increasing to 20 times, beginning to have a much more even battle, being able to overcome him for some battles of the moment. At that moment, a great explosion would be created by all the planet of Beerus, and in that same way, Beerus would fall to the ground very badly wounded. However, at that precise moment, Beerus would begin to increase his power to the maximum, making everything around him shake, and also creating hundreds of catastrophes throughout the Universe 7. From a great explosion of Hawkeye energy, Beerus had appeared with his new form of combat. For a simple Saiyan, you have an incredible power. You made me use 100% of all my power. Broly in the same way had thrown himself against Beerus, however, it was his worst mistake, since at that moment Beerus had thrown a great sphere of energy, which had reduced him to simple atoms. At that moment that Goku and Vegeta observed this, their body was invaded by an incredible terror. That is, they realized that both gods really wanted to finish with them. Goku at that moment would give a great blow to Vermouth, which made him fall strongly. And at that moment, with his maximum speed, he would take Vegeta and would return to planet Earth in terrible condition. Feeling that he had Gohan's ki, at that moment of arrival, Gohan had been surprised, since his father together with Lord Vegeta were in terrible conditions. Gohan would quickly transmit them a little of his ki so that they could recover. At that moment, Goku was able to recover a little, being able to explain everything to him that had happened. Nevertheless, at that precise moment, the gods had arrived in front of them. Here, Goku, we're not gonna allow you to escape. We'll finish you one way or another today. Kakarot, go on! Run away from this place. I'll give my life for you. Apparently these gods don't want Kakarot to live. Especially that must be for something. At that moment, Vegeta would raise his power to the maximum, and had launched himself against both gods with the intention of distracting them for a short period of time. At that same moment, Goku with his teleportation would leave to the temple of Kami-sama. Along with Gohan, both gods had finished with the life of the Saiyan Vegeta in a few moments. When they tried to perceive the ki of the Saiyan, it was impossible for them to do so. Hey, Whis, quickly locate Goku, he can't be far away. Whis at that moment would begin to search for Goku throughout the Universe 7 without any success. So Goku was not in any of the 12 universes, which would leave a little surprise to all the deities. I don't know what happened, but wherever you are, we'll find you, you miserable bug. If that Saiyan has the power to travel between dimensions, it'd be better to seal all this temporary space. At that moment, Whis together with his sister Margarita began to seal all that space of Universe 7, being sealed in a divine artifact so that no being would be able to enter or leave that dimension whole. Only a being which exceeds his power, or has the divinity of a god or an angel. Meanwhile, in the Room of Time, Goku is furious to know that his great friend Vegeta had sacrificed himself so that they have the perfect opportunity to escape. Damn you! I swear on my life that I'll kill you. I don't care who is behind all this. I'll tear him to pieces with my fists. Father, I'm with you. Together, we'll do it. I promise you that we'll avenge the death of Mr. Vegeta. Meanwhile, outside the time room, all the Z Warriors had found out about everything that had happened, and were very surprised to learn that their god had been betraying Son Goku, and that even thanks to him, they were able to win the Tournament of Power. What can we do for Goku and Gohan is to ask that they have eternal youth, so that they will not be affected by time. We also can ask for my dad and Mr. Broly. At that moment, the Saiyan Vegeta would communicate with all of them for the other world. No, don't revive me. Because if you do, Beerus will feel my power, and this time if he uses the Haki to end my life, only the great dragon Zama will be able to bring me back to life. Broly and I will trade in this world. Take care of Kakarot. I understand, Vegeta. Take care of yourself, and become much more powerful so that you'll be able to end the life of that miserable cat. Boom, at that moment, she would summon Shenlong, appearing in the Capsule Corporation. Tell me, what is your wish? I wish you to give eternal youth to Goku and Gohan, We're locked in the room of time.
That is very easy wish to fulfill.
At that moment, Shenlong had fulfilled the wish that Bulma had made.
Now, tell me, what is your second wish?
I wish for you to give them enough knowledge to break all their limits as Saiyans.
That wish is a bit complex, so it will be worth it for the remaining 2 wishes.
Shenlong had fulfilled Bulma's wish, and all the dragon spheres had been scattered all over the planet Earth. At that moment, Piccolo would communicate with Goku and Gohan telepathically.
Goku, Gohan, we've asked you that you possess eternal youth, and that you have enough knowledge to break your limits. It's the only thing we could do from here.
Thank you very much, friends, for worrying about us. I promise you that we'll get out of this place, and we'll finish with every being that opposes us. Father, if we want to get out of this place as fast as possible, we better start now. You're right, Gohan. Beerus and Vermouth, you'll be the main beings for this time. I'll break my limits as a Saiyan. Goku and Gohan began to train in a very intense way, since both of them were giving each other excellent blows. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan was very thoughtful.
I have a bad feeling. Something very bad is about to happen in all the universes, and it doesn't matter if we're the most powerful beings. This will be even stronger than all of us.
Daishinkan-sama was very thoughtful. That's right, something was not right, and the Great Priest knew it. So he decided to observe all the 12 universes, not finding any problem.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe even all the gods have the necessary power to finish with any being.
Meanwhile, returning to Universe 7, Beerus together with Vermouth would organize a meeting between all the gods. That is, they wanted to inform their action to all the other gods, who were completely satisfied with the exception of one, that is, the twin brother of Beerus, that is Champa. Beerus and all the others. I don't know, but I feel that we made a big mistake, because thanks to them, we've been able to come back to life. No, it's because that miserable Saiyan that the Tournament of Power was organized, because if that simple mortal hadn't asked Zeno-sama, none of this would have happened.
Don't you agree with our destination, Champa?
Champa at that moment would not give any comment on the matter. However, in the distance of the whole Universe 7, an extremely powerful being had escaped from the Galactic Patrol. That's right, Morrow, the Devourer of Worlds, have been freed, and would begin to feed on the vital energy of hundreds of planets.
Finally, I have been freed. After so long now, yes, my revenge against all the divine world will begin. First, I have to inform me of everything that has been happening.
Morrow, with his great mental power, would begin to fill himself with information of all the 12 universes, even realizing the betrayal of 2 of the most powerful Saiyans of all the universes.
Ha 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 ha! This is perfect. From what I could observe, the power of this son Goku is capable of even surpassing the gods. But being sealed in that place, he will not be able to interfere.
Morrow at that moment would move around all of the other universes, using the minimum key possible so that he wouldn't be discovered by any of the other gods of destruction. Meanwhile, inside the time room, Goku and Gohan would be training very hard with the intention of increasing their battle levels much more, to be able to leave that place. That's right, after 3 years in that place, Goku had been able to master the Ultra Instinct and even take it to his base state. Gohan, you have to master the Ultra Instinct as well. With this power, no god will be able to catch you off guard. Father, it's easy to say, but it's very complicated to do it, even for you. Goku and Gohan at that moment began to exchange blows at a high speed, in which Goku would throw a very powerful attack towards Gohan, which was not able to dodge it, being very badly injured. However, at that moment, the hidden power of Gohan had awakened. That is, Gohan at that precise moment would begin to expel an impressive divine ki, which would even make Goku go back a few meters. What's wrong? The power that Gohan gives off is incredible, but that's not the Ultra Instinct. Gohan's body would continue to expel a great power, which would leave Goku surprised. At the moment, a great explosion would be created all over the place, leaving very surprised Goku, who was not prepared for that brutal explosion. From all the fire of the explosion, could be seen Gohan in his new transformation called the Beast Mode. What do you think of this new power, Father? I don't know if it's at the level of your Ultra Instinct, but I'm sure you won't knock me out easily. How about we give it a try? Goku and Gohan at that instant, at a great speed, began to move through all the corners of the room of time, and even exchanged blows at a high speed, which would leave very surprised Goku as Gohan was able to dodge 95% of all his blows. At the time, Goku would charge a blow with a great part of his power. Nevertheless, he was astonished when he realized that Gohan had stopped him with one of his hands. In spite of that, it was costing him too much since he had used a great part of all his power to be able to support such a bestial power. What do you think, Father? Don't forget that I'm a prodigy. Maybe I'll be able to achieve the Ultra Instinct. But in this transformation, all my senses have been sharpened to an incredible way. Gohan, you have an incredible power. You better take that power to the limit. You're right, Father, but from now on I'll start training on my own because, as far as I can tell, your Ultra Instinct depends on calm and tranquility, unlike my Beast Mode, which depends on anger and my emotions. I didn't understand anything you said, but let's do it! After some time, let's check how powerful we've become. Goku and Gohan would leave to train in different places. Meanwhile, outside the dimension, more specifically in the Capsulta Corporation, Bulma was thinking of a way to get Goku and Gohan out of that place. Damn! I don't know how to help Goku! However, at that moment, Vegeta's voice would once again resound in her mind.
Bulma, don't worry, as I can see the power of both insects is increasing in an incredible way. They'll make it out on their own.
Alright, Vegeta, I'll trust you.
Meanwhile, with Vegeta, he was training in the other world with all the other warriors of the universes, and he also meditated in his free time to be able to break all his limits, which he was achieving, since all his energy veins began to become much more resistant to a great load of energy.
Vegeta, there's a power beyond the Super Saiyan Blue. You could say that in this state of God of Destruction, a power similar to the one used by Toppo in the Tournament of Power. How can I get that power? What should I do?
In the Palace of the Chaos Supreme, there is some essence of destructive energy. If you're able to control it, you'll be able to acquire the form of a god of destruction.
It sounds like something very easy to do. I doubt it's so. What's wrong with that method?
If you don't have enough resistance, you'll be completely eliminated. It is the energy of a god. You will not be part of nothing. That is to say, neither of hell or of paradise. It'll be as if you never existed.
It's a risk I want to take. I'll overcome my powers anyway.
Okay, but train for one more week. But train mentally, because in this power you also need peace of mind, and then focus on the absolute destruction. Vegeta in all that week had meditated, and with the intention that his body was able to withstand all the energy that is about to enter his body. As the week passed quickly, Vegeta was facing a great power of purple color, similar to the Hakis of Beerus. Are you ready, Vegeta? After touching that energy, there's no turning back. Vegeta at that moment would enter into all the energy of massive destruction, wrapping his whole body into a purple aura. Loud screams resound. However, at that precise moment, the cry of the Prince of the Saiyans would echo through the place.
I'll not die before a simple energy. I'm the great Vegeta!
At that moment, all the energy would enter the body of Vegeta, which began to increase his power in an incredible way, even making everything around him rumble. He has done it! He's done it! Vegeta kept increasing his power of destruction to the maximum. Even a gigantic purple aura would be created all over the place, and from the middle of that aura, you could see the Prince of the Saiyans in his maximum power. That's right, Vegeta had been able to dominate the Ultra Ego, or also known as the state of God of Destruction.
This power is incredible, but I have to control it completely. My body hurts.
Vegeta's energy veins were about to burst. Even his whole sea of energy was unstable because of all that overwhelming power that had entered his body, since it was the energy of destruction, and if he had not controlled it, it was his only option would be to die. Vegeta at that moment would fall to the ground with many wounds all over his body, but the most shocking thing was how his energy veins had been able to withstand all the power of destruction. Merus-sama is the maximum authority of all this universe, but it's been the worst decision he has made in betraying Goku and ending Vegeta's life. Meanwhile, on one of the other planets, Morrow had been able to gather enough power to once again move towards the Galactic Patrol.
This power will be enough. I have to absorb the power of Merus. The power of an angel will be of great use in the fall of the Divine River.
Morrow, at a great speed, had headed towards the Galactic headquarters, where at the moment of arrival, hundreds of soldiers would surround him. But Morrow had been able to end his life without difficulty, and in the same way he'd been able to absorb each of his powers.
Merus, show your face. I want to fight with you since you know that no one from the Galactic headquarters will be able to face me.
At that moment, Merus would stand in front of Morrow.
After all this time, you've returned. Now you'll not only be sealed, I'll finish with your pathetic life, since you finished with the life of millions of planets, and I cannot allow that.
Merus at that moment would make a move at an impressive speed. However, he was astonished when he realized that Morrow at that moment would release an incredible pressure which made him fall to the ground on his knees.
I no longer have the necessary power to face me. I wouldn't have come to this place if I didn't know that I'm capable of ending the life of an angel. You're a damn monster! And why did you come to this place? You know how I was known, and I want to devour all your power to be able to finish with all the divine kingdom, Daishinkan, and the useless king of everything.
Merus at that moment would begin to collect all his energy with the intention of exploding so that Morrow would not be able to keep his power. But it was too late. In that instant, hundreds of shadows would envelop the whole body of Merus, absorbing him completely. Instantly, a great power was felt by all the 12 universes, even reaching the planet of Zeno-sama.
What is this power? And why has the vitality of one of my sons disappeared? Does anyone have the power to end the life of an angel?
At that moment, one of Zeno-sama's guards would stand by Daishinkan's side.
Daishinkan, go and investigate everything that has happened. That roar from before does not give me a good vibe. I feel that something very serious is about to happen.
Daishinkan at that moment would go to Universe 7 with the intention of finding some clue about everything that had happened, being Ivano, since Morrow had finished with each being not to be discovered. At the moment, Daishinkan would use his staff to observe everything that had happened. But in that place, a great barrier of darkness did not allow it. Meanwhile, in the Room of Time, everything had passed 2 years more, in which both Saiyans had increased their power in an amazing way. Being so much, even Goku had been able to take his Ultra Instinct to a higher level. That is, Goku had not achieved any transformation, but his Ultra Instinct. This time was compared to the power of an angel, while Gohan's power had exploded in a great way. That is, Gohan was able to defeat an angel as long as he attacks him when his guard is down. At the moment, a whole path of ice would be formed in by the place, implying that even his aura was able to freeze everything around him.
Father, long time no see. But how have you been able to increase your power in an amazing way? Would you like to have a fight? I can say also that you've increased your power. Of course I want to fight against you. Let's see who's stronger.
At that moment, both Saiyans would begin to increase their power to the maximum. While Goku did it, a galaxy was formed over him, demonstrating the incredible power he had achieved. While Gohan, at the time of increasing his power to the maximum, caused havoc on all the celestial bodies that Goku had formed. In that moment, both were launching one against the other.
Goku and Gohan at that moment would move at a great speed, one against the other. That's right, since they had to test their powers to the maximum. Meanwhile, in the 12 universes, a powerful being was being filled with an incredible power of energy, with which it was so much that it even made the great Daishinkan-sama shudder. The power that is felt is an immense power. It comes from Universe 7. Daishinkan, being the father of all angels, at a great speed would go to investigate such an anomaly, but at that moment of arriving, he would not find anything. That's right, he only felt the whole space a little heavy and dense due to a great negative energy. Daishinkan in that instant would stretch out one of his hands and form 4 attacks that, when united in one, a great explosion would be created all over the place. That's right, his power had been so much that the whole universe seemed to have returned to normality. However, in a space-time gap was Morrow. Well, the power of Daishinkan's amazing, but he won't be able to do anything against me when I get the power of each one of his gods and angels. Meanwhile, in the time room, Goku and Gohan were having a very even battle. However, the power was both giving off was incredible, so much so that even the same was cracking. Goku, despite hitting the Ultra Instinct, did not need to think to attack, was not able to connect effective blows to Gohan, which had an impressive reaction speed. At that moment, Goku, much more determined, would use much more power. That is, at that moment, Goku would pass to Super Saiyan 3, which would leave Gohan a little surprised. However, this time, when their fists collided, the difference in power was overwhelming, since Gohan had been sent flying with hundreds of wounds.
You have great power, but I'm still much more powerful. Well, Father, your power is incredible, but I will still be able to surpass you.
At that moment, Goku and Gohan would return to their base states, but when Goku tried to return to his base state, it was impossible. That's right, Goku had transcended to what goes beyond a god, so his base state this time was the Ultra Instinct.
Well, apparently my power has reached a new power, so I'm able to not be able to return to my base state. That means that we'll be able to increase our power much more. Otherwise, we won't be able to do this.
All the while this was happening, a powerful god was watching them.
The power of those two Saiyans is an impressive power. They have great potential to awaken their killer instinct, slaughter god instinct, and supreme authority instinct.
At that moment, Goku and Gohan would decide to increase their power to the maximum, to be able to leave once and for all of this dimension. That's right, at this moment, the whole dimension would begin to tremble due to such a roar. At the moment, an incredible explosion would destroy all the barriers that the angels had put, and likewise the space-time loop and all the Earth of Universe 7 would be destroyed. That's right, Goku and Gohan were able to leave that place after hundreds of years, but great was their surprise to not observe the planet Earth. Flashback. Beerus and Vermouth, knowing that they were not able to feel the ki of both Saiyans, had decided to destroy all the Milky Way. That's right, and with all the gods, had created hundreds of destructive energies, destroying everything in its path. But both being in a different dimension, nothing would happen to them. Instantly, both angry Saiyans perceived the ki of Beerus. So at that moment, and flashback, Goku with the teleportation would arrive in front of both deities, which at that moment would be surprised to observe them.
But if it's Goku and Gohan, where the hell have they been all this time?
You don't care about that, you damn cat. The only thing you know is that you'll die in this very place.
At that moment, Beerus would become enraged, but was not able to dodge a great blow from Goku, which would send him flying. Instantly, Whis would interpose himself with the intention of getting into the battle, but when Goku and Whis were exchanging blows, Gohan in the same way would begin to exchange blows with Beerus, which despite having trained a little, was not enough to end Gohan's life. That's right, Gohan was only using 30% of his beast mode. Instantly, an incredible power from Whis would be felt through the Universe 7, even calling to the attention of Daishinkan-sama.
That is the power of Son Whis. What is happening to you? Likewise, an unbelievable power is released from that universe.
Daishinkan, with the help of a portal, would quickly appear in Universe 7, which, at the moment, would drop an incredible pressure on everyone, so much so that even Goku felt his whole body getting heavy.
What the hell? Why is my body so heavy?
At that moment, he would observe Daishinkan. Goku, without trusting, would pass to the Ultra Instinct Phase 3, raising his power to the maximum, which would leave very surprised all those present. Instantly, Goku would throw himself against Daishinkan, but his power was still far away compared to the Great Priest. Meanwhile, with Azael, he was observing everything that was happening in the battle, given to understand that he was not going to lose two great warriors. At that moment, with a great negative power, he was able to cover Goku and Gohan, who, without understanding anything, would be teleported.
What happened? As far as I could tell, neither of the two beings had activated the teleportation technique.
Daishinkan would cure Beerus, who was the most injured. Whis only had a few wounds, but nothing serious. Instantly, Beerus would begin to raise his power to the maximum, being furious, but Daishinkan would be able to calm him down since all that power was capable of destroying everything around him.
Beerus and Whis, like all the gods, will have to train to increase their powers, otherwise they'll die. Currently not the only power of Son Goku's dangerous, since other greater power is approaching.
Beerus and Whis would be very surprised by the words of Daishinkan-sama. What is this great danger, father? If Lord Goku's power was already incredible, only you would be able to defeat him.
I have no idea, Whis, but a power even greater than Goku's power is approaching.
Daishinkan in that instant would return to the realm of the whole, while both deities would begin to talk about what happened. Meanwhile, in a very different place from the 12 universes, Goku and Gohan would arrive, where even their bodies weighed more than before. That's right, the pressure that was felt all over the place was incredible. So much that Goku and Gohan, it was hard to stand up.
What is this place? My body's heavy and it hurts a lot.
Saiyans, I've been watching you, and you've caught my attention too much, so I have a proposal to make to you.
Before you talk to us, stop releasing that pressure. We can't even move.
I'm very sorry, but this is my lowest pressure, and I'm not able to decrease it anymore.
Goku and Gohan were very surprised by the words of that guy.
You have the potential to reach king-level power.
King level? What's that?
It's the power beyond all existence of the 12 universes. I'll personally train you, and when you're ready, you'll be sent to the Abyss Massacre.
What is the Abyss Massacre? Does it sound like something I want to go to?
The Slaughtering Abyss will be the place from which you'll emerge as a true powerhouse.
I don't even care who you are, but I accept.
I want to finish off every divine being. Now I realize that even Zeno-sama and Daishinkan will turn against us. In that case, let's not waste any more time. Let's start once and for all. Instantly, a replica of Goku would appear, but something to differentiate was that all the ki he was releasing was pure evil. You have been able to defeat that replica, but don't be confident, since I have given him a small part of all my power. At that moment, Goku and Gohan, with extreme difficulty, had rushed against that copy. To their surprise, he had dodged all his blows, seemed to have done it in an extremely easy way. Instantly, a great explosion would be created all over the place, and both Saiyans would be sent flying to different places. Without wasting time, the warrior had given him a shrapnel of blows from Gohan, who would fall to the ground and would be out of combat. This guy's powerful, but much more powerful. I won't let you make fun of me. What do you think of this? Goku at that moment would take his body to the limit, which he would even attract Azael's attention. The power of that Saiyan's incredible, but he won't be able to defeat him. At that moment, Goku and his copy would exchange blows. Goku would be sent flying and very badly wounded. He would stand up. I never thought of using this power with a being other than Daishinkan, but I realize that if I don't do it, I'll die in a simple training session. Goku's power would begin to increase in an incredible way, being so much his power that even in this occasion, his copy would access in the same way to the Super Saiyan. His hair was of a red color. Goku's power would continue increasing, forming in hundreds of catastrophes by all that place. Instantly, of a gigantic explosion, one could observe Goku, which his fur had changed to a purple color. This is the power beyond a supreme angel. I hope you're prepared. Goku at that moment had launched himself against his copy, with which, in this occasion, he would have a very even battle. But the wear of energy of Goku was taking him to the limit. That is, all his organs, including his heart, was suffering from incredible damage. At that moment, Goku received an incredible blow, which had sent him to the ground and he would fall completely untransformed. That is, after hundreds of years, Goku had returned to his base state. This is better than imagined. With that power, those Saiyans have become authentic king-level gods. Meanwhile, in the planets of all the multiverses, Morrow's power would begin to absorb all the vital energy of each one of them, so his power was increasing in an incredible way. But it was not something that the gods, angels, or even the high priest would notice, because the portions of energy stolen were minimal. But being from all the universes, his power increased in an amazing way. Each power is impressive. I'll be able to dominate it, and I will begin to absorb the power of each god. Instantly, Morrow's whole body seemed to be covered in an egg, so he was mastering all the power. Meanwhile, with each god of destruction, everyone was training in their respective universes, especially Beerus and Vermouth, who had already acknowledged of the incredible power of Son Goku. Whis, we must increase our powers. This is serious. Son Goku's power has completely crushed us. That's right, Mr. Beerus. Well, I will even undergo rigorous training. Both deities at that moment began to train in the same way. Meanwhile, returning to Goku and Gohan, both in all this time, were obtaining an incredible power. And Gohan had reached the same transformation as Goku, both defeating that guy. This is excellent. With the power they have now, the mobility they have on the planet, it's time to do it. Is it really time, Azael? That's right. You reached your full king state, even since I only reached 70% of it. Instantly, Azael would form his aura, from which death would be formed. 100% king mode. It is said forms death itself, with purgatory, and likewise grants you an amazing power. At that moment, a portal would be created through the body of Goku, and Gohan would enter, and at that moment of doing so, they found an apocalyptic environment. We're ready, Gohan. That's right, Father. Let's unleash our power. At the moment, Goku and Gohan release a great part of all their power, so as not to be caught off guard.
Goku and Gohan had been sent to a creepy place. The moment they arrived, they felt like an incredible pressure would invade each of their bodies. That's right, the pressure in that place was for king-level beings. However, Goku and Gohan, despite feeling much heavier than before, were able to move without any difficulty. Gohan, we've become very powerful. We're able to withstand all the pressure of this damn place. That's right, Father. This is incredible.
We'd better raise our powers a little more.
This is how Goku and Gohan began to raise their power. While they trained in that mysterious place, meanwhile in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan was very confused for everything that was happening, sending to call the deities to Universe 7.
Whis, Beerus, I need your presence at this very moment.
Quickly, both deities would come to the call of the Great Priest.
Great Daishinkan-sama, tell us, what's offered to you? Beerus, I understand that you together with Vermouth betray the Saiyans of Universe 7.
Beerus at that moment would panic, realizing that the Great Priest knew everything that happened.
Great Daishinkan-sama, those damn monkeys are a threat to everything built by the great Zeno-sama. Don't worry, Beerus. If you didn't do it, I was going to kill those pathetic monkeys myself. But I want to know if you really killed them. I understand, Daishinkan-sama. With the Saiyan Vegeta and Broly, we finished. But with Son Goku and his son, we weren't able to find them. So we destroyed the whole planet Earth. I understand. But there is something that I don't like at all. And I don't know what it is exactly, but I want you to solve it. Ask for my help in the worst case scenario. I understand, Daishinkan-sama, with your permission.
That moment, Beerus together with Whis would leave quickly by all the Universe 7, beginning to look for Son Goku again. Nevertheless, it would be impossible to find him since the dimension in which they were dimensions in which where an authentic king of everything was able to enter. Not simple gods as they were. However, the time in that place passed in a very different way, since in a matter of days in the outside world in that dimension had already passed approximately 200 years, in which the powers of Goku and Gohan had shot up in an incredible way.
Gohan, it looks like it's time to get out of this miserable place.
That's right, Father. We can finally get out and take revenge on all those damn worms. At that moment, Goku and Gohan expelled all their power. Since they had even mastered and acquired all the necessary Masker Essence, Goku and Gohan had returned to the place where Azael was, who was very surprised to realize the short period it had taken them to get out of that place.
How are you able to get out of that place in such a short time?
Thank you very much, Azael, for all your knowledge. But right now, we're going to end the lives of those bastards.
Because of the trust you have in each other, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. I trust you. I've taught you everything I know.
At that moment, a great portal would be created which had transported them to the 12 universes. At the moment of arriving to the 12 universes, Goku and Gohan would begin to elevate their power in an incredible way, causing havoc for all the universes. So much was their power that even the Great Priest had felt it.
This is bad. Divine protection.
Daishinkan would throw a great technique towards the palace of the great Zeno-sama so that no power would be able to enter that place and would not perceive all the destruction of the universes.
So this was my bad feeling. Let's see how Vermouth and Beerus solve this, because the power of those Saiyans is compared to the level of a guardian angel.
All the gods quickly gathered where they had felt all that big roar when they arrived. The most surprised were Beerus and Vermouth.
This can't be happening. You guys should have died.
Beerus, you don't know how much I've waited for this moment. Now we'll finish with everything being in the divine world.
Vermouth would throw himself against Goku, being furious. However, Goku was able to stop his blow with only one of his hands. At the moment of the blow, he had sent him flying to a planet which would be able to rubble due to the power of the Saiyan.
No god or angel will have a chance against us, since our power has risen in an incredible way, and nothing and no one will be able to face us. Prepare yourselves, simple gods.
All the gods had thrown themselves against Gohan. However, the guardian angels were surprised to realize how Gohan, with a simple movement, had been able to end the lives of 10 of the gods without the slightest effort.
The gods were always great warriors, but they always trusted their power. They didn't think that a trained Saiyan would be able to defeat them, and now they'll be eliminated by the race they despise so much.
Vermouth would recover from the blow, throwing himself against Goku. The attack would be joined by Beerus. However, at that moment, the voice of Daishinkan would resound through the multiverse.
Angels, you have full authorization to end the lives of both Saiyans, because if you leave them alive, they'll be able to end everything in existence.
So even the Daishinkan has turned your back on us. We don't care if we die in this battle. We'll take each one of you damn bastards.
Goku at that moment, with great aggressiveness, was able to end the lives of both gods, embedding his hands in their hearts and ripping them out without any mercy.
The angels who want to die come to attack me will be turned into simple dust.
However, being a direct order from Daishinkan-sama, all the angels had thrown themselves against Goku and Gohan, who seemed to have little difficulty in facing all 12 angels at once. At the moment, Goku, with a great blow, would be able to send an angel to fly to a planet, destroying it by the power of the blow. At the moment, he would throw an incredible attack, reducing it to simple atoms. The other angels were much more annoyed, rushed against Goku, who was not able to do anything, because 4 angels were facing Gohan, while Goku was facing 7 of them. Goku would fall to the surface of a planet very badly wounded, spitting large amounts of blood. At that moment, an incredible attack would be thrown towards Goku. Your fists have been powerful, but they don't have enough power to finish me off. You're mere garbage compared to my true power. Goku would respond to the attack in the same way, starting an incredible clash of energies. After a few seconds, Goku would take a great advantage by increasing his power. All the angels with a great speed were able to dodge the attack. However, Goku, with an even greater speed, was able to cause great damage and even killing 3 of them. Sir Goku, all of this can be solved. We angels had nothing to do with your betrayal. It's a simple misunderstanding. Whis, you being my master, even you turned your back on me. I never understood why you betrayed us. I always looked for the welfare of the 12 universes. Gohan at that moment had charged a powerful attack in the tip of his fingers, with which he was able to finish with the 4 angels, who had responded with a great power. But the attack of Gohan was a megaversal scale. Daishinkan, who was watching everything that happened, would be filled with an incredible anger.
Damn good-for-nothing angels. They're not capable of taking down a few simple Saiyans. At this moment, I'll personally teach them how to fight properly.
Daishinkan would arrive at the battlefield in a matter of seconds, being able to stop a large attack that was heading towards the last remaining angels.
It's a shame that angels like you have been defeated by 2 mere mortals. I'll talk to you very seriously when I'm done with these insects.
Gohan would approach at an incredible speed towards Daishinkan, which without any difficulty was able to connect a powerful blow which Gohan was not able to observe clearly. What the hell? I understood that the High Priest was a powerful warrior, but I didn't think his power was that much. I almost didn't notice until he hit me. Apparently that Whis told me out to be true. You are one of the 5 most powerful warriors of all the universes. Now let's see if you're able to face me.
No matter how much power you have, you're not capable of facing a Guardian King.
Daishinkan, without finishing speaking, would be sent flying with a great blow, falling to a planet and being dragged all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had your guard up. That's why I attacked you. Daishinkan, furious, would begin to raise his power in an incredible way, which made everything around him rubble. Even chaos in all corners of the universe were felt. After a big explosion could be seen Daishinkan with his maximum power. At the time, Daishinkan, at a great speed, was about to end the life and finish with the life of Gohan. However, an incredible pressure in the same way had made him very slow. It was not powerful enough to make him fall to his knees, but it was enough to diminish in great part his speed. Goku at a great speed put his son to safety. This time it'll be an honor to finish with one of the 5 most powerful beings of all the universes. Show me what you have, damn priest. Goku in that instant would begin to exchange thousands of blows with Daishinkan, which moved through all 12 universes. No angel was able to keep up with the battle, but the pressure of both warriors cut their breath. For the first time, I don't know if my father would be able to defeat Lord Goku. The power he possesses is incredible. At that moment, we could see how Goku was sent flying from an incredible blow, which had left him very badly wounded.
Damn Saiyan, you have incredible power, but I don't know what kind of training you've received, or who was your teacher, but the power you possess is incredible, but you still lack the power to defeat a guardian angel like me.
Your blows have hurt me too much, but they have no comparison with the power of your stupid sons. But how about this?
Goku at that moment began to release an incredible power. So much was the power he was releasing that even Daishinkan on this occasion felt a great fear, since Goku's power was surpassing his power by several times.
Increased 2 times, not 4 times. No, what the hell? How much is surpassing my power?
At that moment, a big explosion could be seen all over the place. That's right, Goku had accessed the Super Saiyan Phase 3, combining it with Ultra Instinct.
All this power has been designed to finish with every defined being in this multiverse, so I hope you're prepared.
Goku's power had been so great that even the barrier covering the entire realm had been completely destroyed, being able to Zeno-sama and both of the Guardians feel all that overwhelming power.
Whose power is this? It seems to destroy all 12 universes with its mere presence.
I don't know, my lord, but it'll be better to go to that place, since it seems that Daishinkan is facing this powerful warrior.
Both Guardians, together with the King of Everything, went at maximum speed towards the Great Battle, being astonished when observing Goku fighting with the Great Priest. At the moment, Zeno-sama would release a much more overwhelming pressure, being able to restrict both warriors.
What's going on in this place? This shouldn't be happening. Daishinkan, give me an explanation.
Daishinkan would explain everything that had happened, to which Zeno-sama was furious.
That's angered me too much, but I can't take any action since I'm a neutral being. But in case Goku wins, he'll be able to revive his entire family.
But my lord, that's a lousy idea.
Don't worry, Daishinkan. Since you won't be in this place, this battle will be life or death. So the only way this conflict will end is that one of the two of you must die. Thank you very much, Sensei. I always trusted you. Now I'll end the life of this wretch.
Goku and Daishinkan at that moment began to exchange blows at high speeds, which were not able to be perceived by others. However, Goku, realizing that his power was decreasing with the passage of the battle, decided to finish with the Daishinkan in a single blow.
Damn priest, you turned out to be a very powerful warrior, but I don't think you'll be able to withstand my last blow. God Dragon Destroyer's hit!
An incredible white dragon would be directed towards Daishinkan, which, to be a few meters, would use all its power to be able to repel it, realizing that to support it would be able to kill Son Goku because its power decreased drastically. At the time of throwing such a mortifying attack, however, the incredible power crescendo was able to raise Daishinkan, turning him into simple dust of the universe. Goku would fall out of combat, being held by Zeno-sama.
From today, whoever attempts to end the life of my friend will have to abide by the consequences.
At the moment, all the angels had gone to the Kingdom of Everything for new orders. After a while, Goku had recovered completely, having a gigantic power, and in the same way, with its Super Dragon Balls, would revive all the beings killed by Beerus and Belmont. At the moment, Vegeta would rush towards Goku.
Kakarot, I want to test your new power. How do you say we have a battle?
I think that's perfect, Vegeta.
Goku would access the Ultra Instinct, while Vegeta would access the Ultra Ego Maximum Power, leaving Goku very surprised due to the great increase that Vegeta had had. At that moment, both launched into the attack. 70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son. You've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level, but we cannot forget the cell bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time he showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus, that god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right, and now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark, and a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis? Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies, and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents?
The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturn. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. It is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I have said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot.
Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament.
Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him.
But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives.
This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk?
I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this.
I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight.
I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist.
You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility.
Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them.
I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives.
I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity?
I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle.
At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for their survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them.
What is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity.
Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders.
Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted.
Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed?
Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy.
We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will.
The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them.
What are you?
We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed.
The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence.
Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting.
No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress.
The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, and sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious shadow warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the shadow creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level.
Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space.
Now, Vegeta, let's go all out.
Let's go, Kakarot.
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the shadow creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the shadow creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the shadow creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this.
Yes, Vegeta, this creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all.
Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this!
For once, Kakarot, I agree.
The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyans' attacks with ease.
Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast!
The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination.
We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together!
Alright, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it!
Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late.
Kame! Ah! Final Flash!
The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyans' assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely.
Vegeta, we're in trouble! This thing's stronger than we thought!
Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing.
Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta!
The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground.
Vegeta, we need a plan.
The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. "Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting!" At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince. As he stood up, his eyes were gaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique?
Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies.
Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaoken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaoken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaoken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaoken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaoken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaoken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaoken.
Kaoken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaoken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaoken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing.
Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku!
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently.
Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming!
Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature, we will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed.
Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta!
Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination.
Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all!
Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything.
The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version.
It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature in its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever.
There's no limit to our strength when we fight together! Come on, guys, we can't lose!
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence.
Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves.
We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison!
The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, was showing superhuman endurance.
It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks.
Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you!
The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury.
We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes!
The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision.
Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness!
The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the dark possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled.
We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist.
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan.
We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him!
In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated.
It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession!
At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed the most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area.
After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more, with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power, and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free!
Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine, just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan.
The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature.
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious.
The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadows creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses, however the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn shadow, don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power. The Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach the side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan? That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way! The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways!
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans. Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the dark entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan?
As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life. So what's the plan, Piccolo? Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you. I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this.
The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, Now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up. So the shadow creature set out to return to its master. After the terrifying moment that the Z warriors had experienced, Goku and Vegeta realized that Beerus and Whis were not on Earth. They had disappeared just moments before the shadow creatures appeared on Earth. This is because Daishinkan discovered that Zeno-sama had been killed by his father and immediately summoned all the angels and gods of destruction. In the majestic realm of all, Daishinkan, the high priest, summoned all the angels and gods of destruction of the existing universes. The atmosphere in the hall was unusually tense, and concern was reflected in the faces of those present. Daishinkan, with his usual calmness, prepared to share the disturbing truth he had discovered.
Angels and gods of destruction, the time has come to face a powerful truth. Zeno-sama, our beloved king of all, has been slain.
Silence fell over the hall. The angels and the gods of destruction exchanged looks of disbelief and dismay. No one expected that such a tragedy could occur, especially at the hands of someone so powerful.
My investigation revealed that the one responsible for this abominable act was Zeno-sama's own father.
The news resounded like a somber echo in the room. Everyone present processed the shocking revelation. The omnipresent figure of Zeno-sama, the supreme deity, had been shattered by his own protagonist. Mojito, Sidra's angel, spoke in a worried voice. How is it possible that a being as powerful as Zeno-sama's father could have committed such an act?
That is a question for which I still have no answers. But now we must face the consequences of this event. The stability of the multiverse is in danger.
Arak, the god of destruction of Quitella, asked,
And what measures will we take in the face of this threat? What'll happen to the throne of Zeno-sama?
That is a question we must discuss and resolve. For now, the throne remains empty, and our duty is to maintain peace and balance. But before we make hasty decisions, we need to fully understand the magnitude of this situation.
Beerus and Whis prepared to inform the gods of destruction and angels of all universes about what they had witnessed while on planet Earth with Goku and Vegeta. The Hall of the Realm of Everything was filled with celestial beings, each one expectant and worried about the news they were about to receive.
Attention everyone! We have crucial information to share about the events that have been unfolded.
Before we are summoned here, the father of Zeno-sama appeared on all the planets of the multiverse. Surprise was reflected on the faces of those present. Murmurs and whispers filled the room, as the gods of destruction and angels exchanged looks of disbelief. His visit was not simply to report the death of Zeno-sama. He announced the holding of the tournament that would determine the survival of the planets in each universe. Additional rumors filled the room, creating a constant buzz of concern. The gods of destruction and angels wanted to understand the implications of such an announcement.
He informed the rules of the tournament and the intentions behind such a competition, but it's necessary that we all work together to get answers and face this threat. It is time to join forces and overcome this crisis. The fate of our universes is at stake.
As the gods and angels absorbed the gravity of the situation, in every corner of the Hall of the Realm of Everything, conversations and plans were brewing to confront the mysterious tournament that threatened to upset the balance of the multiverse. Uncertainty hung in the air, but the determination of the divine beings was determined to face the unknown that lay ahead. In the Hall of Everything, Daishinkan, the High Priest sensed the imminent arrival of extremely powerful entities heading for the different planets of the multiverse. His face reflected seriousness as he prepared to inform all the angels and gods of destruction present of the coming threat.
Gods and angels of destruction, the time has come to face a new and challenging threat. Entities of great power are headed towards the planets of our universes, and their goal seems to be a direct confrontation with the strongest warriors of each world.
The expressions of those present became serious. Aware of the gravity of the situation, Daishinkan continued with determination.
It's crucial that we move quickly to protect the strongest warriors of each planet, regardless of which universe they belong to. The threat we face does not respect universal boundaries, and we must act with unity to preserve the balance.
Vados, the Angel of Champa, raised his hand.
How do you plan for us to move, Daishinkan? We each have responsibilities in our universes. I understand the complexity of this situation, but the magnitude of this threat requires immediate action. I suggest that every angel and god of destruction move to the planets threatened by this unknown force. We must prevent the strongest warriors from being defeated before we can fully understand our enemies.
Sounds like a sensible plan, Daishinkan. If we all work together, we can protect our warriors and gain more information about these powerful entities. Each angel and god of destruction nodded in agreement, accepting the need to act immediately. They moved quickly to the various planets, casting aside universal barriers in a joint effort to safeguard the multiverse.
May the wisdom and power of each of you guide this effort. Let us not underestimate this new threat. Our duty is to protect the existence of our universes.
With those words, the angels and gods of destruction dispersed, leaving the Hall of All in preparation to face a challenge that transcended universal boundaries and demanded the collaboration of all divine beings. Uncertainty hung in the air, but determination to preserve the balance of the multiverse guided the powerful beings in their joint mission. The angels and gods of destruction quickly teleported to the threatened planets, each determined to protect the strongest warriors on the various planets. In the blink of an eye, the skies lit up with flashes of divine energy as Awamo and Ewin, Cognac and Quitella, Matanu and Geen, Whis and Beerus, and the other angels and gods of destruction headed toward their assigned destinations. The planet Thraxis Nocturne lay peaceful in the corner of the cosmos, its nocturnal luminosity radiating a tranquility that was about to be disturbed. In the vast space, Awamo the angel, with his small book in hand, and his god of destruction Ewin, an imposing figure with a stern gaze, detected the arrival of a shadow creature, a minion of Zeno-sama's father. The creature, shrouded in malevolent darkness, descended with malevolent determination towards Thraxis Nocturne. Ewin, without hesitation, deployed his energy of destruction while Awamo stood by, hoping to resolve the conflict without a bath of chaos.
Creature, your darkness will not be tolerated in this realm. Stop your destructive plans.
The shadow creature emanated a guttural growl, its presence emanating an unnatural energy that distorted the space around it. The space battle began with an explosion of opposing forces. Ewin launched destructive beams, while Awamo used his speed to dodge the attacks and assess the situation.
Ewin, this creature's stronger than we imagined. We must be cautious.
I know, Awamo, but we can't let him destroy Thraxis Nocturne. We must give our best.
The shadow creature, agile and evasive, responded to the attacks with dark energy waves that distorted space. The battle spread across the firmament, leaving traces of destructive energy in its wake. Ewin tried to anticipate the creature's movements. However, the shadow creature proved to be agile and adaptive, countering every strategy with an unmatched dark force.
Our conventional methods don't work. Ewin, we need to combine our forces.
I agree, Awamo. It's time to show them the true power of destruction. Awamo and Ewin merged their energies, creating a flash of light that defied the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, perceiving the threat, intensified its own energy, generating a collision of cosmic forces that shook space itself. The battle reached a fever pitch, with cosmic explosions lighting up the scene as Awamo and Ewin struggled to contain the darkness. This struggle took place not only on the physical plane, but also on the spiritual one, where the will to protect Thraxis Nocturne was pitted against the ruthless ambition of the shadow creature. The fusion of Awamo and Ewin unleashed a dazzling energy that eclipsed even the nocturnal luminosity of Thraxis Nocturne. The gold and violet glow enveloped the divine couple as they prepared to face the dark threat looming over the peaceful planet.
It's time to show the true extent of our power, Awamo.
The shadow creature, aware of the growing threat, rushed towards them with supernatural speed. Awamo, with his keen perception, anticipated every movement of the creature, allowing the couple to dodge its onslaughts with heavenly elegance.
Keep calm, Ewin. We must synchronize our movements to counteract their darkness.
Ewin nodded and unleashed a series of destructive energy blasts that lit up the space around him. However, the shadow creature responded with amazing agility, dodging every attack with meandering movements. The battle became a cosmic game of strategy and speed. The angel Awamo and the god of destruction Ewin soon realized that in order to defeat this entity, they would need a coordinated attack that transcended the limits of their individual abilities. In a moment of perfect timing, they unleashed a gale of combined energy. Awamo channeled the energy of destruction while Ewin released violet flashes of destruction.
Focus your energy, Awamo. Let's get rid of this darkness once and for all.
Awamo nodded and joined the attack with determination. The fused energy of both angel and god turned into a spear of golden and violet light that pierced through space with an impressive speed. The shadow creature, caught in the torrent of power, let out a heart-rending howl as it was enveloped by the luminosity. The impact was abysmal, generating an expansive wave that shook the cosmos. The darkness that enveloped the creature began to dissipate, revealing its twisted and weakened form. Awamo and Ewin, exhausted but triumphant, stood on guard ready for any eventuality.
We have managed to contain their darkness, but we can't let our guard down.
The shadow creature, now visibly weakened, recoiled before the imposing presence of Awamo and Ewin. The light had prevailed over the darkness in the cosmic corner of Thraxis Nocturne. The divine couple remained firm in their duty to protect the planet that this creature wanted to destroy. However, the battle was not yet over, and the fates of the planets remained uncertain in the vastness of space. After the shocked combined attack of Awamo and Ewin, the space around Thraxis Nocturne was vibrating with the residual energy of the cosmic battle. The shadow creature, apparently weakened, remained suspended in the cosmic void, enveloped in a dark glow that seemed to absorb the surrounding light. The divine couple watched cautiously, aware that the fate of Thraxis Nocturne was still hung in the cosmic balance.
Ewin, something's not right. The darkness of that creature seems to be getting stronger instead of weaker. It seems that our attack has absorbed by her, but it shouldn't be possible. How can he transform our energy of destruction to his own power?
The shadow creature, now surrounded by a more intense aura, began to change its shape. Its twisted figure became more defined. His eyes shone with a malevolent lucidity. The darkness emanating from her was becoming denser, distorting the space around her.
You have underestimated my true potential, angel and god of destruction. Your energy has strengthened me beyond your comprehension.
The divine couple prepared for what was to come next, aware that the threat they faced had evolved. The shadow creature, now empowered by the absorbed energy, charged towards them with renewed speed and ferocity.
We need to be more cautious, Ewin. It seems that every blow we inflict makes her stronger.
Understood, Awamo, but we can't allow this darkness to devour Thraxis Nocturne.
The battle resumed with increased intensity. The shadow creature attacked with bursts of dark energy that cut through space, while Awamo and Ewin responded with flashes of golden and violet light. The cosmic dance of lights and shadows painted an epic picture in the vastness of the universe. Each blow and backlash echoed like thunder in space, distorting reality itself. Awamo, with his keen perception, tried to anticipate the movements of the dark creature, but the dark entity proved to be unpredictable. Ewin, with his energy of destruction, sought to weaken the creature, but his attacks seemed to be absorbed and turned into an additional source of power.
Every time we hit her, her power increases. We can't go on like this. We must find a way to counteract his ability to absorb our energy. Do you have any ideas, Awamo?
Awamo pondered for a moment, his angelic mind working in search of a solution. Meanwhile, the shadow creature, aware of its opponent's confusion, took the opportunity to launch a surprise attack. A wave of dark energy enveloped Awamo and Ewin, distorting their perception and weakening their defenses.
Your resistance is useless. I am the embodiment of darkness. His light cannot prevail before me.
The situation was becoming more and more desperate for the divine couple as they struggled to resist the shadow creature's attacks. Awamo turned his attention to the small book he always carried with him. An idea began to form in his mind.
Ewin, I think I have an idea, but we need to synchronize our attacks in a different way. Explain yourself, Awamo.
Awamo explained his plan to Ewin, who nodded in understanding. Both God and Angel prepared to put their strategy into practice. The shadow creature, confident in its superiority, launched into the attack again, but this time Awamo and Ewin were ready to respond differently.
Now, Ewin, combine your energy of destruction with mine in a more controlled way.
Ewin nodded and channeled his energy to Awamo, who in turn merged it with his. Instead of launching a direct attack, they created a sphere of combined light and energy that floated between them.
Do you think this tactic will change the outcome? We'll see.
The energy sphere began to slowly expand, emanating a glowing light that contrasted the surrounding darkness. The shadow creature, curious but confident, watched the development with disdain.
The fused power is not only destructive, but it also has properties that counteract its absorption capacity.
The combined energy sphere, now reaching its maximum expansion, released a wave of light and energy that enveloped the shadow creature. This time, instead of absorbing the power, the darkness that characterized her began to dissipate.
What is this? My power should not be weakened. We create an energy that goes beyond destruction and creation, one that neutralizes the darkness that you're trying to absorb.
The shadow creature, weakened by Awamo and Ewin's strategic counterattack, retreated as the combined energy sphere continued to exert its effect. The light emanating from the sphere began to purify the darkness surrounding the entity, revealing its original form before corruption.
It seems our tactic's working, but we must make sure we contain it completely. We can't let our guard down. Let's continue with the strategy until the creature's completely neutralized.
The space battle continued, but this time Awamo and Ewin had the upper hand. His sphere of combined energy continued to exert its purifying effect, dispelling the darkness that threatened Thraxis Nocturne. With each passing moment, the shadow creature grew weaker. The light of hope began to shine in the corner of the cosmos that was once on the verge of destruction. The shadow creature, weakened by Awamo and Ewin's strategy, retreated into space, its distorted form twisting as the combined energy sphere continued to purify the darkness that enveloped it. In a desperate attempt to regain his strength, the shadow creature began to explore its surroundings, looking for an opportunity to turn the situation in his favor.
My power is weakened here. I need to find a place where darkness prevails.
While exploring, the shadow creature noticed something that favored him. His eyes flashed with malevolent anticipation as he discovered that this world was called Thraxis Nocturne because it was a planet plunged into shadows. The dark entity smiled malevolently as he realized that this planet could provide the darkness needed to revitalize his power.
Ha 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 ha! Thraxis Nocturne, a feast of darkness awaits me!
With amazing speed, the shadow creature launched itself towards the planet, traversing space with great speed. Awamo and Ewin, aware of his intentions, followed closely, determined to stop any attempt by the shadow creature to plunge into the darkness of the planet. As the creature approached Thraxis Nocturne, the darkness of the planet seemed to intensify, as if responding to its presence. The planet's nighttime atmosphere shone with a faint luminosity, offering a fascinating contrast to the surrounding stars.
Ewin, we must prevent the creature from being filled with dark power. If she succeeds, it'll be even more difficult to stop her. Understood, Awamo. We'll not allow the darkness of this planet to fall into the hands of that entity.
The shadow creature descended on Thraxis Nocturne with a terrifying impetus. As she approached, the darkness seemed to take her in, enveloping her with a gloomy welcome. The shadow creature began to absorb the darkness of the planet, its twisted form vibrating with a new energy as it filled with the essence of Thraxis Nocturne.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, this darkness will strengthen me. Nothing can stop me now.
Awamo and Ewin, wasting no time, headed towards the shadow creature, determined to stop its advance before it became unstoppable. The battle in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne was about to take a very drastic turn.
We cannot allow this darkness to completely corrupt this creature. We must stop her before she becomes invincible. Your previous strategy was effective, Awamo. Let's keep working together to counter his power.
Deep in the shadows of Thraxis Nocturne, the intense presence of the absorbing shadow creature did not go unnoticed by the most powerful warriors on the planet. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and his brother Cooler felt the darkness increasing around them and, with a mixture of amazement and concern, headed toward the epicenter of the threat.
Something's not right. The darkness in this place is getting denser.
Whatever it is, we cannot let it threaten Thraxis Nocturne. Let's investigate.
The warriors moved nimbly across the gloomy terrain, advancing towards the source of the darkness. As they got closer, the atmosphere became heavier, as if the shadow itself wanted to resist their advance.
The darkness is different. I feel a strange pressure. I'm not afraid of the dark, but this is unusual. Cooler, stay alert.
Understood, Frieza. Let's find out what's going on.
Suddenly, a wave of dark energy erupted before them, revealing the shadow creature that was absorbing the darkness of the planet. His twisted figure and malevolent aura were as evident as the threat he posed to Thraxis Nocturne.
Warriors of this planet, his darkness feeds me. Soon I will be unstoppable.
We won't let you destroy Thraxis Nocturne. Get ready, creature.
The warriors went on the attack, each unleashing their unique power against the dark entity. Turles unleashed his evil aura, releasing bursts of destructive energy. Bardock channeled his Saiyan fury into powerful blows, while Raditz and Cooler coordinated their attacks to create a symphony of destruction. Frieza intensifying the struggle.
This creature doesn't know who he's up against.
Your resistance is useless. Each blow only increases my power.
The shadow creature, powered by the darkness of Thraxis Nocturne, absorbed attacks with defiant ease. Each impact seemed to strengthen rather than weaken it, plunging the warriors into the disturbing reality that they were facing an enemy that fed on its own darkness.
It's not working. He's getting stronger and stronger.
We need to change our strategy. We can't let it absorb all the darkness on the planet.
While the warriors struggled to find an effective strategy, the shadow creature, with its distorted laughter, continued to absorb the darkness, becoming more and more powerful. The Battle of Thraxis Nocturne's survival was at its most critical, and the warriors knew that they had to find a solution before the dark entity became invincible. The dark aura released by the shadow creature enveloped the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, gradually weakening them. The warriors struggled to stay on their feet as the entity's malevolent energy infiltrated their bodies, obscuring their vital forces.
This is it. Too much.
I can't let that defeat us like this.
The warriors, despite their bravery, were overcome by the darkness emanating from the aura of the shadow creature. At that critical moment, when hope seemed to be fading, a heavenly light pierced the shadows. Awamo and Ewin, the angels charged with protecting Thraxis Nocturne, arrived on the battlefield.
The darkness emanating from this creature is breathtaking. We cannot allow it to take over this planet. Time to show these warriors how to fight true darkness.
The angel spread his wings, and together with the god of destruction, they advanced towards the shadow creature, his presence radiating a luminosity that defied the malevolent nature of the dark aura. As it approached, the dark entities sensed the arrival of divine beings and turned to face the new threat.
Ha 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 ha! More insignificant beings. His light will be devoured by my darkness. Don't underestimate the power of light. Darkness cannot resist the true essence of creation.
Awamo extended his hand, and a purifying light enveloped the battlefield, counteracting the dark effect of the creature's aura. Ewin, on the other hand, deployed the energy of destruction, creating a perfect balance between light and darkness. The shadow creature, for the first time, felt the pressure of forces that it could not easily absorb or resist. The conflict took a turn, and the battle became more intense as the Angel and God of Destruction faced the dark entity with the unique combination of light and destruction.
The real struggle starts now. We'll protect Thraxis, Nocturne, from the darkness you represent.
The fight between the angels and the shadow creature reached impressive levels, with bursts of energy illuminating the dark planet of Thraxis Nocturne. Meanwhile, the warriors, freed from the debilitating effects of the dark aura, watched the fight, hoping that their planet would not be destroyed. What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.